ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Verses 6 and 7 is explaining what is this kshetra. Yes.
Avyaktam, is it vasanas?
No. This avyakta is more of total. Vasanas and all comes much later. Avyaktam is, maybe you can take it as cosmic vasana, if at all you want to use some term to understand. But it is not individual vasana. Because vasana, ignorance and all comes with reference to the individual. Right? Avidya is with reference to the individual. Now here this is, avyaktam is even before mahat. Even before this buddhi is avyaktam. So remember, in the sequence in the verse 6, take these three as one cluster. Now beyond that there is no way we can understand anything. You just have to take it. Take it or leave it, full stop. There are three. How do you know there are three? Those who have understood, they have told us. And we take based on their statements. We are not going to be going based on our logical understanding. Because when we use the word, pratyaksha, pramana, say, you see, you understand, that pratyaksha has various classifications. Right? One is known as yoga pratyaksha. Right? The yoga pratyaksha is for those people who have been a yogis. They see something which we cannot see. Exactly like only a trained eye can see and understand the X-ray. Isn't it? Like we see a lot of, when you go to orthopedic clinic, as soon as X-ray comes, the patient will look at it as though he's going to understand. Even after keeping that X-ray, showing that, pointing it out, explaining, still you can't see. Where? Yes. We cannot see that. Only a trained eye can see. Now, when the trained eye sees that and says there is no fracture, there is only ligament tear. No, there is only swelling. There is no fracture, there is no ligament tear, there is nothing. When he says that, do you understand? You don't understand, but still you take it on face value. Isn't it? Why? Because he can see what I cannot. He can understand certain things. I cannot understand certain things. When the doctors have told you, you are O positive, do you know? AB negative, your blood group. How they identify blood group? Every blood looks same, no? Isn't it? It's a famous, in the 60s, 70s, cinema dialogue that used to. Everybody's, blood is same. Then the doctors come and say, no, it is not. O positive is different, O negative is different. AB1 negative, AB1 positive, something and all they add. Do you understand? You don't. Even though you see, you don't see it. That is called a special trained eyes. Those who have that perceptual understanding understand certain things which is not visible for us, even though we also see it. So based on that, we accept. Similarly, you have in Pratyaksha, there is a classification, which is called yogic. Now the problem nowadays, I'm scared to use the word yoga. See, this yoga meditation has been abused so much so I wish to eradicate it from the dictionary only. Would you like to have one more cup of coffee? I'm meditating on that. Coffee is not a meditation. We have started using, big words for normal things. Hey, don't disturb me. Now we use the word what? Mood swing. Mood swing. Swing you should enjoy, no? You sit in the swing and you enjoy. Keep going. Enjoy there. No? Mood swing. Anything depression. I'm so depressed. I feel depressed. I've never heard of the word depression. Have you ever heard from your mother that during menopause time we get the swing? Anybody? Now, pre, during, post, that itself will take 10 years of your life. Because pre 5 years, during 3 years, post 5 years, it's gone completely. How long you are going to live like this? Everything, we have started using these words so much so. We are losing the potency of those words. You see, certain words ought to be used in the context. The potent words are not supposed to be used at the common conversations, day-to-day conversations. So these words we have started using. One is the word is yogi. That's why I'm scared to use the word. But nevertheless, there is a thing called, there is a trained eye seeing something, untrained eye seeing the same thing but understands something else. The Srishti Krama is given by the trained eye. So when the trained eye says something, an untrained has only two options. What is it? Take it or leave it. You take it if you trust the source. If you do not trust the source, what do you do? Reject. Can you understand? That's out of question. You see, that's not in the context at all. Take it or leave it. The first three, Avyaktam, Buddhi, Ahankara. These three, simply Kalpan. After that, it will make sense. Rest of it will be little easier. The first three will be, you'll go overboard.
So where does Vasana fit in here? After the three?
After the three. After that, Ahankara comes individual. See, then you have this vasanas and all those things. This is one. Another thing is, in this context, we do not bring in individual. You see, because the context of the verse is what? Explaining what is Kshetra. Kshetra, he is including what? Jiva plus Jagat. So, Jiva is in the Jagat, is a minuscule part of the Jagat. So, when he is explaining the Jagat, don't discuss about Jiva. So, here, when he introduced Kshetrajna, he said this body, there it is Jiva. Verse 6 and 7, it is not Jiva, it is Jagat. So here it is Srishtikrama of the Jagat here. So here don't bring in individual vasanas, desires, ignorance, all those things don't come into this context at all. So this is Jagat Vichara. So then what is Kshetra? Kshetra is equal to Jiva plus Jagat. That is Kshetra. Initially, he explained using the Jiva as a reference point. Now he is using the Jagat as a reference point. You can put it as microcosm, macrocosm. When you are discussing macrocosm, don't bring in ideas pertaining to microcosm. Right? Out of that ahankara comes the 21 principles. 21 tattvas come. Ekam, mind. Then Dashendriya, 5 organs of perceptions and 5 organs of actions. Then Mahabhuta. Mahabhuta is the 5 subtle elements. Right? Then 5 gross element. Indriya Gochara. Indriya Gochara is the objects of the sense organs. Pancha, 5. Pancha Indriya Gochara. Objects, 5 objects for the senses. What is this? This is gross elements. So there are 2 elements stand in 2 positions. One is the subtle elements, another one is the gross elements. So 5 gross elements, 5 subtle elements, 10. 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, 10. 10 plus 10, 20. Ekam, mind. Then the 3, 24. Idea borrowed from Sankhya philosophy, but wordings were given by Krishna. Idea he has taken from there, but he changes the terminologies. Few terminologies he changes. That's all. Only the 2 terminologies he changes. Yes.
So if this is macrocosm, organs of perception, organs of action, that really,
All organs of perceptions.
that is like
All organs of actions. Because organs of perceptions means not only human organs of perception.
Yeah.
Elephant also sees no.
So is it referring to the ability to do that? No.
That is called Indriya.
Ah.
Indriya means the faculty. The capacity
It's
to
not
do.
the physical organ.
It's not the physical. Physical organ will be part of what? Gross elements.
Yeah.
That is gross elements. All the faculties, the powers that belonging to this, all put together. Then we say, sir, Pancha Prana, where is it? You forgot. Is it? Where are you going to fit in the Pancha Prana here? First, understand what is given. Then you can try to fit in the things that were missed out. Your mind will go like that. I see a lot of people, when we analyze this, immediately they go to, sir, what about the pranas? Where is the prana here? Your Pancha Prana is what? Prana Tattva is included where? Vayu. Vayu Tattva, the prana is already included there. When that operates in an individual, it is given the name prana. See, but it is essentially what? Essentially, it is Vayu. Vayu Tattva is what is referred when we say prana. But the word prana will be used only with reference to the individual. So when you study the constitution of an individual, it will be different. As an individual, when you read, it is a different way of understanding. That is why I said Jiva analysis different, Jagat analysis different. Don't mix it up. Right? Annamaya Kosha. Where is Annamaya Kosha then? Pranamaya. All those analysis, the Kosha analysis comes in with reference to the individual, Jiva. Right? Now the context is Jagat. So don't take it individual and this. Mix it up. Be careful.
And also this five subtle elements should come after mind. Before
Yes.
sense of organs of
Organs of perceptions and organs of actions were listed there. There's no sequence here. The sequence is you understand only two. The first three and the rest. The rest of it all parallel. It's all at the same level happening. So first three, 1, 2, 3. Then out of that comes Ekam. Out of that Ekam comes all the simultaneous. After that, there is no sequence. After that, it is simultaneous, all at the same level. And you will ask, out of organs of perception came organs of action, or organs of action produce organs of perception? Jnanendriya produce Karmendriya, Karmendriya produce Jnanendriya. Jnanendriya is supposed to be subtler than Karmendriyas. So Jnanendriyas were produced by the subtle elements, Karmendriyas are produced by the gross elements. I hope I am not planting.
that doubt came.
Isn't it? When we are discussing about the Indriya's subtlety and grossness, that is discussed from a different angle, even though we use the same word subtle. The context is different there. Here, the context is different. Again, we will use the same word subtle gross. Right? Don't get confused. There, when we say subtle gross, that is decided based on the number of things it can contact. We say ears is subtler than this Hawaii. Because sound can be contacted only by one. When it comes to air, two things are possible. Two senses can contact. When it comes to fire, three senses can contact. When it comes to water, four senses can contact. When it comes to earth, five senses can contact. Since all five can contact, it is gross. Only four can contact, subtle. Only three, subtlest. That is the equation there. It's not a cause and effect relationship or anything like that. It is just to understand that only one can contact, another thing two can contact, another thing three can contact. That's all it is. To refer that, we use the word subtle. Right? Now here there is no subtle, gross and all that. Don't bring in subtle, gross with reference to organs of perceptions, organs of action. Both belong to same level here. Whereas in elements we give, there are two. Gross elements and the subtle elements. That is why these two together presented and the other is presented in two different words. As one compound it is given. Right? Indriyani dasha. Dasha indriyani. But elements were divided into two parts. Gross elements, subtle elements. Because for the indriyas to operate, it needs the stand. For a function to be there, there has to be a stand. For a software to function, there has to be a hardware. Without a hardware, software cannot function. And why we use the word software and hardware?
Perceptible.
One is visible. You open the computer, you can see. Can you see the software inside the hardware? Now what I'm going to do now, Intel chip I'll take and put it under microscope. Can we see what all the programs are there, operating there in the RAM? Invisible. That invisible to function needs a visible. Nevertheless, that invisible is invisible. It will never become visible. Same way, two elements are there here. The indriyas are there. For the indriyas to operate, it needs what? It needs a stand. It needs a platform. That platform is provided by the gross elements. Right? And the gross elements itself becomes the objects also. It becomes the senses in the body, becomes the objects outside. It's the same thing. Because it is in the same level only, they are able to contact each other. One is the proof of the other. Like we say, the proof of the world is what? I am seeing it. Who is giving the proof? I. I is part of what? Same five elements. World is what? Made up of same five elements. So, elements is giving a proof for the elements. Will you agree? Element says, I am the proof that elements do exist. Hey, you're asking, does elements exist? Who is giving the proof for that? Vouching. Elements vouch for the elements. Now, how do we accept? That's why I said we don't care much about the details. Because details is to be studied by science. We don't care about it. Why we don't care? is because for this context that's not required. See, we don't need to know how the cells form to one group of cells becomes a kidney, one group of cells becomes a liver, one group of cells all that came out of the two cells, no? Right? What was there inside? Nothing. That start multiplying, multiplying, multiplying. When it multiplies, how does it know that I should become part of liver? Oh, liver is already made. Now let me become kidney. Let me become heart. Let me become blood. Let me become bone. Let me become marrow. Let me become skin. Vedanta says, see, all these things you want to know, go to the next room. There's a fellow who has studied biology. Go and ask him. Don't come here. Because here we don't care about how this happened, how the development. This is not our problem. Because of what? We go to the basic things. Because here we take facts, we take the data which is available for the naked eye. Remember, the data that we have taken is not based on any extra equipments being used. Because the moment you say I'm going to collect data based on the equipments, then as I make the equipments refined, the whole data will change. The whole data changes, the entire analysis will change, entire conclusions will change. Now, where is the end for you to say this is where the equipments have reached its? No. It will go on and on and on and on and on. And we say, by doing that, you are studying the object or the subject. How mature you study the object, can you reach the subject? No. So we say what? Don't worry about there. But then you cannot completely dismiss the object. Another group of people, they say, okay, forget about the entire world. Everything should, no, that is also not possible. Why? Because you got to proceed with what is known to you. Any knowledge proceeds always from the known. What is known is the world. So from the world only we have to start. To study what? Not the world. We are starting to study the world only to understand the one who is studying the world. Okay? We are not studying the world for making the world better or anything. We are engaging into the study of the world only for understanding the subject. We say this much of data is more than sufficient for us to arrive at the subject. That's why we don't go into the details. If you want details, you should not sit here. Go to the field of science. That's the subject. Like when there is a electrical problem in the house, don't call a plumber. It's as simple as that. I'm switching on the things, the bulb is not coming on. Everything is working except the fridge. Don't call a plumber. Carpenter. Why? Only carpenter is there in the next house. Now, even if the carpenter were to be there, even if he comes, what can he do? He will also go by trial and error only. The plumber may come because you have invited him, he had called him, he will come, he will also sit and fiddle with something. But still remember, you are not supposed to call the plumber, you're supposed to call the electrician or the AC repair guy, or the fellow who handles the refrigerator. Otherwise, it is not possible. Same way here. This kshetra, what is kshetra? Sir? These are the things makes up for kshetra. Right. I thought we may have to call an electrician now. There you go. Verse 7.
इच्छा द्वेषसुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतना धृतिः
एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारमुदाहृतम्
इच्छा
द्वेषसुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारमुदाहृतम्. Desire, hatred, pleasure, pain, assemblage, meaning body, intelligence, firmness. This is kshetra briefly described with its modifications. Savikaram, it's with modifications. Vikaram is modifications. Savikaram is with modifications. Along with modifications, I have told you in brief. Samasena is that briefly. The brief, presentation, because there are so many things are there. You have to imply what are the things there. Asanas are there, desires are there, pranas are there, this is there, that is there. As I told you, in this context, we are taking it as 24. There is another way of dividing which has 36. There is another system which divides to 64. I have seen up to 96. There is another system which divides the kshetra to 96 parts. There are 96. Same ideas, but further dissection. They go into little more details. But as far as Vedanta is concerned, it says the Sankhya's have given 24. No, that's enough, man. You don't need more than that. Now, where he is adding is the 7 is added by Krishna here in this context. Now, what he is doing is, he says, in verse 6, he gave the list of the constituents. What are the instruments? What are the things there? Now, of that 24, he takes that one, ekam, manas. That mind he takes and he gives certain properties of that, certain modifications of that. That ekam, that mind and its products, what it produces. Right? What it produces, sir, also he is including. Because kshetra is not just an inert, it is dynamic. It's constantly creating things. It's constantly producing things. It is constantly changing, modifying, developing, evolving, devolving. The changes. Certain things go, certain things disappear. I remember when we are doing, 10th standard, 17th, Standard now. Every street here there used to be one typewriting institute. You see? Typewriting institute. Have you been to typewriting institute? You? They're all used to typing with 9 fingers. Now they use 1 finger. Don't type. Scroll. This is why they do words come. We wouldn't have imagined in our wildest dream. One day there will be a thing that you will hold in your hand. All that you have to do is what? Keep doing this. Words will start appearing. Even if you misspell, autocorrect. Devi Stotram. I'm typing one day. Devi Stotram. I'm typing. Finally, it came as Devil Stotram. Autocorrect, right? Devi is not the word, no. English word is devil. Devil Stotra. And the fellow asked, hey, I didn't register. No, I just typed it and sent it. I didn't realize it. It's changed. A fellow called me, hey, Pudu Stotra. Ravana also, Ravana Stotra is there, but that's not on any, devil. That's on Shiva only. That is also done by him, Rakshasa, but on Devi, devil world. What to do now? Auto correction. Where is it today? It's gone. You go to GK Vale and ask for Konica film. Where are you from? He asks. GK Vale. I want to take a picture, so give me one Konica film. Negative, give it to me. Say, there's no negative. Everything positive. No negatives. Well, you go there, they'll take a picture. Now what is it? All digital. Cars don't have, now CD player. There's no CD player. USB port. Why do you want USB port? He's asking. I said, okay, if I have to, plug my, collections I have, USB. Why do you want? I have a mobile, yeah, cloudless. Sir. Put everything in the cloud. I said, where? Genuinely, I thought, cloud. When I heard first time in the cloud, I genuinely thought it's the cloud. Where they keep, man? I said, the cloud. Where in cloud? Things appear, things disappear. Floppy disk. It's a great invention. Somehow, now we see that. Somehow I'm not feeling comfortable with, the HD TV. HD TV look, hazy now. I don't know whether they are wrong or my eyes have gone wrong. 4K is the one looks, clear. You know that? Have you realized? You don't see that. See that? No, it says same one. The video, full HD. So look, wow, man. Now the full HD looks what? It's not sharp. 4K is the one which looks sharp. It goes on and on and on. It's constant. That's what he is giving here. The further vikara. Vikara is all these changes. And he is taking one aspect, which is that ekam, mind. That mind has certain properties. What is that? First one, he gives icha, means desires. Whatever you desire, whatever you like, all your likes and dislikes put together is called icha. Then dvesha, dislikes. Icha is likes, dvesha, dislikes. Hatred, what you don't like, what you hate. Sukham, the feeling that you get when your desire gets met. Right? When some things arrive, there is a pleasure. Something departs, there is a pleasure. That is the difference. Icha, dvesha. What you do not want, where to stay away from you, you experience something. What you like comes, there is a sensation. Isn't it? Mother comes, there is a sensation. Mother-in-law comes. Yeah. Depends on man or woman. Husband or wife. Wife feeling of mother-in-law is very different. Husband feeling of mother-in-law is very different. All husbands will have a problem with father-in-laws. You know that? What is visible is mother-in-law, daughter-in-law fight. Okay? This son-in-law, father-in-law fight is not visible. It is so subtle. They will not get along. You put these two fellows together and go out somewhere and see what happens. The moment they get along, first thing, you know what they do? Both will go to pub and drink. Why? Not that they are very close or anything. Forget who this guy is. Is the remembrance, this is my father-in-law, this is my son-in-law problem. Father-in-law comes, is one thing. Father comes, another thing. Till you get married, mother will look so good, father will look like a devil. The moment you get married, what happens? Now, ulta you can understand much easier. Ladies, no. The moment they get married, after that only they become very close to mothers. Before marriage, no fight. After marriage only they are. And moment they get a child, that's all. Mother becomes like, divinity personified. Why? Only then they realize, my God, to be a mother is not a joke. Suddenly there is a great realization dawns after they get a child. Icha, dvesha. What you like comes, what you like experienced arrives, pleasure. What you dislike departs, pleasure. Opposite happens now, pain. What you like departs, pain. What you dislike arrives, pain. That is what he is referring here. Sukham, dukkam. Icha, dvesha. Immediately he gives Sukham, Dukkham. You have to understand that. All four. Sangha means the assemblage, means the body. This body is the Deha. All this is all happening where? In the body. All that you can experience only when there is a body. When there is no body, you can't experience any one of these things. The proof is what? Either Icha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukkha. When?
Right.
Deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is, because all these things to operate, you need a body. The body disappears in deep sleep. There's nothing. There is nothing. There's no body. No experience is possible. So for all these experiences, you need this body. So that's what he's saying. Sangha means assemblage. The moment you understand it as assemblage, it means what? Various things brought to get together. That means what? It will disintegrate. Many parts put together. That's a body, no? Like car. Many parts put together is a car. Same way, body is made up of many parts. The fact that you have put together many parts, over a period of time, what happens? As you keep using the car, what happens? Wear and tear, we say, no? That's a disintegration. That it integrates and disintegrates. But without the body, the subtle body can never have any contact with the world. So the subtle body is there that needs to contact the world for experience. That can happen only through the body. We are not able to see what is behind the window. Why? Something wrong with your eyes? Or there is nothing behind? There is no. But can you see it? You can't see it. Why you can't see it? Because there is a screen. When the screen is put, you can't see. You remove the screen, seeing happens. So for the subtle body to contact the world, it needs the gross body, physical body. And the physical body is made up of many things put together. This is what we call as birth and death. What is birth? Birth is the subtle body entering into this gross body to contact the world. Death is what? Subtle body leaving the gross body. That's all it is. When you leave this, screen is put, screen is removed. One contact possible, another contact not possible. You are here, objects are there. But if the screen is on, you can't see. Same way. Without the body, experience not possible. So the body is made up of what? It is made up of all this. Right? Up to this, you will not have any problem. Right? Krishna Kusumbu, we say. Suddenly, all this while, no issues. Avyaktam, this one, this one, this one. All that you will not have any problem. Suddenly, he puts a googly, just throws one word and walks out. Chetana, he says. Chetana is part of what? Kshetrajnam chapimam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the kshetrajna. What is the kshetrajna, we said? Consciousness. Correct? Now he says what? The Chetana, consciousness is part of what? Kshetra. Hey. This one word alone will be a problem. All other words, no issues. See, the Kshetrajna analysis, complicated word. The Chetana is a complicated word. Intelligence. It's translated as intelligence. It is Chit.
It's not intellect.
Not intellect. It is. It's not intellect. It's the Chit. Now the same Chit is what is referred as Kshetrajna earlier. Of course, for us it is few weeks back, right? But as far as Krishna is concerned, it's only 4 verses. 4 verses back he said, I am that consciousness. Now he says consciousness is part of Kshetra. Now how do you say this intelligence, Chit, becomes part of matter? Because essentially, definition we have seen for Kshetra is what? Matter. Right? Kshetrajna, spirit. That is spirit, this is matter. That is consciousness, this is matter. Matter means inert. Correct? In the list of inert matter, he says what? Intelligence. That's not teaching. That's why we call him Jagat Guru. First one to get the title. Jagat Guru. It's a fascinating one. These are the verses where we say you need a lot of background knowledge. Without the background knowledge when you read, first of all, this question itself will not come. Yes, sir. Icha, Vesha, Sukha, Dukkha, Sangha. What is Sangha? Association. Says, no. It is assembly. Oh, okay. And then what? Chit, intelligence. Correct. And then Dhriti, firmness. All this put together is the products, modifications of Ekam. That Manas. Wait. It's all part of it, we say. But then how can you say intelligence is part of this? This matter combines and creates intelligence. We do see happening, no? Isn't it? Same aluminum, right? I make that same aluminum in a particular shape, bring it in a particular shape. It suddenly gets power to pull a car. It's aluminum, no? I will give you the same weight of aluminum. No shape, okay? Same weight. Or in a different shape. Will that become engine? Aluminum engine, we say, no. Yes, aluminum engine is there. What is aluminum engine? Made up of what? Aluminum, which is what? Inert matter, but then that inert matter, once it comes in a particular shape, what happens? There is something in that, isn't it? Suddenly, the same thing gets something, or even better, is mirror you see now, right? Mirror, which reflects. But the raw material of the mirror is what? Silica. Does silica reflect? Opaque, isn't it? Same silica, when it is modified, suddenly develops something in it which is not there in the original, in the raw material, isn't it? The raw material silica doesn't have the power to reflect. Hmm? The moment it's put under a particular process, the same silica becomes a mirror. Now it can reflect. Now there is a possibility. Right? Same way, the assemblage. That's why he puts that word assemblage there. Assemblage is what? Assemblage of all that great elements combined in a particular format becomes the human embodiment, human body. This human body has the power to reflect the consciousness, which is Kshetrajna. Right? The silica becomes the mirror. That mirror reflects the sun above. Right? Now there are two suns now, isn't it? One, there is sun above, and then there is another sun in the mirror. The sun in the mirror is called Chetana. The sun above is called Kshetrajna. With the example only. Otherwise, it's so difficult. It is. That's why we are so grateful for science. Imagine silica is not there, engine line. How do you explain this? Right? The same thing, that elements which is inert, right? The sun which is reflected in the mirror, is it dependent or independent? Dependent. It is not independent. The chit is not independent place. It is dependent. Even though it is reflecting, even though it is brightening, that's what they do in the rooms. If you want to increase the light, they say put a big mirror. When you have a bigger mirror in the room, it reflects the light better. But nevertheless, the mirror can never produce it. That is not possible. Light is coming from some other source. But the interesting thing is, the wall cannot do it. Only a mirror can do it. This is also sand, that is also sand. Yeah, of course, okay. Silica is different, this is different. Cement is different. But this also what? Cannot. Now you can't put a silica there and say that, reflect now. Not possible. That has to be processed. That processing is the assemblage. When that elements gets processed, it develops a capacity. It gains a unique power now, which is not there in the original. There are a lot of philosophical deliberations on this. Hmm. There's a lot of deliberations they go. Like using this alone, they delete the possibility or necessity of consciousness. It's not needed at all, actually. Actually, consciousness is nothing but a byproduct of this combination, they'll say. But what consciousness they are talking about, sir, is they are talking about the conditioned consciousness, the reflected sun. The reflected sun can come only in that combination. Like you take palm, no? Beetle leaf is green, correct? Bark, beetle nut is brown. Then you add that lime. Lime will add பண்ணுவீங்களா? I don't know that.
So not that line. It's
Oh,
like that.
chunna. Okay, okay. Oh, I thought. For us all same. White. You chew. You can say you are adding saliva. Saliva is colorless. Okay. You chew all that. What it produces? Red color. From where it came? Same way, human embodiment in a particular form creates consciousness. Why are you bringing in a separate consciousness there? There's no need actually. You're complicating. This is the easiest one. It was a fascinating argument provided by the materialistic school. Fascinating argument. You say what? Correct. That combination is needed for it to produce this. But then this is reflected sun. This reflected sun you can see here only because of that combination. Now you connect to the first one. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetrajnam. Kshetram is it? This body is called kshetra. But this body has a unique property. Why he is not including other things there is because of this reason. Because only in this embodiment, the reflection of that consciousness is possible. Otherwise, it's not possible. See, so that's why we say this intelligence. No doubt, matter is inert. The body which is produced out of those elements inert. But that inert things, when it combines to a particular formation, when it comes, it is able to reflect the subtle body. It's able to reflect that conditioned consciousness. Awareness is there. Consciousness, you're conscious of what's happening around you, and you're conscious of what's happening inside you. Right? How you are able to get all that, sir? From where it comes? No doubt, it appears here. For it to appear here, it has to be in that combination. Otherwise, it is not possible. That's why if you take your dog to Lakshadweep, we can't show any other name now. Okay. All of us have to go to Lakshadweep. One fellow called me, sir, we should have a retreat in Lakshadweep. Pota.
Is it cruise? There
Yeah.
is no hotel.
No hotel. Yeah, one fellow, he went actually, one of my friend, he went for 1 week cruise. And he says, hey, next year I'm going to do retreat in this cruise only. 7 days. I said, mad fellow. You want me to do Kena Upanishad in a cruise? One small, classical music is disturbing. The cruise leather for all the time shaking. Lakshadweep. If you take your dog to a Lakshadweep and take him and make him sit in that and see that sunrise morning, beautifully it is reflecting. A splash of colors and this, that. You are sitting and enjoying the beautiful sunrise. And the fellow sitting next to you. What he will see? Can you enjoy that? He'll see it. It's not that the dog is not going to see. The dog sees. Okay, the dog may not see the colors that you are seeing, but the saying goes, dog will say what? Hey, if I can't see the colors that you see, nor can you see the colors I see. Shut up. Isn't it? The bee can see ultraviolet. Now, can you see? You can't see that. I can see. Owl will say, I can see in the night. I can see clearly in the night. More darker, better my vision is. The bat will say what? I don't even need that. The swiftness, the speed in which it moves. Have you ever seen the bats getting hit? Blind. Never. Hundreds of them will fly. No dashing. Our fellows, you see, Gandhi Bazaar, you go, eating here. Bat will say that we are better. If you can do certain things, they can't do certain things. But nevertheless, only human alone has this capacity of what? Seeing, experiencing, and registering that I am experiencing what I am experiencing. Dogs also experience, but it doesn't register what is experienced. That's called consciousness. That's called awareness, knowledge, intelligence. This intelligence is again part of what? Kshetra. Why? Dependent. It's not independent. And if you have to understand all these things using this knowledge, using this kshetra and go towards kshetrajna, you need effort, and that effort has to be consistent. That is also what? Part of kshetra. The perseverance, the firmness, dhriti says. The firmness of the perseverance of your intellect. The perseverance continued till the project is completed. Because anything that you attempt to do, always the first attempt is going to be what? Failure. You may succeed. And you take the next step, again a failure. Fourth step, there will be a failure. Fifth step, there will be a failure. Possibilities. You have to keep failing, failing, failing. Many times the failures will happen. Many attempts of yours will meet failure. What is it that is going to collect yourself up again and say that I'm not going to give up the pursuit? Like, I don't know whether it is true or false. It seems that, Thomas Alva Edison, 1,000 times he failed to make an electric bulb. One thing I knew, he even tried human hair. elementary, if you know, have knowledge, you know, it's not possible. But the guy said, what? Nothing doing. I'll try that also. That also he tried. 1,000 times. Failure, failure, failure. Many failures. What is it that is going to keep you going? That is also part of the kshetra, mind. So all these properties put together, all the 7. So the 24 plus 7, 31 says the combination of the gross and subtle elements put together. In verse 6, he gave the instruments. In verse 7, he gives the properties of that. And he takes one sample. He's not taking everything. That's why he puts it very clearly. Briefly described by me. Because if you are asking me to describe this, I have to go to what? 36, 64, 96. Further division I have to go. Now, Arjuna, you don't have that time or capacity, nor this is not the time for us to go through also. So what to do, sir? Briefly described. Taking one, only that one. That also he did not do complete analysis. He just gives a very basic one. What are the things there, sir? Icha, likes, dislikes. Likes, dislikes produce something. Sukha, dukkha. Right? Then, all this to experience, you need a body. Then, the conditioned consciousness, the reflected consciousness. Then, dhriti. So, what we understand is body, desires, then buddhi. The dhriti is to be taken as buddhi and conditioned consciousness. So body, mind, intellect, conditioned consciousness. All put together, he says. And the quality of the body is what? To disintegrate. It's a nature of it, nothing in between. That's why he is taking the nature of the body and presenting the body. But we understand he is referring to the body. Okay. The property of the body is what? To disintegrate. That is what he says. Sangat. Kshetra over. Next class. This Gita lectures we are starting from 28th January to 1st February. It's going to happen in RVT Teachers College. 28th to 1st. Right? I suppose you all would have got the invitation by WhatsApp. I don't know. If those who are not given the numbers, please give. And then what is this for? Aparna's number? Yeah, for volunteers, kindly contact Aparna. Those who want to volunteer for the work. And her number 98456. I repeat, mobile number 98456 94980. 908, I'm sorry. 94908. Right. Thank you.